That day of October 7th started with intense rocket fire from the Gaza Strip into southern Israel. Simultaneously, Hamas fighters infiltrated Israeli territory.
We announced the start of Al-Aqsa flood operation.
Hamas attacked border military bases, Israeli villages, and the Nova Music Festival, killing almost 1,200 people and taking some 240 people hostage. The operation had been prepared for months. Israeli security forces failed to prevent it.
I have ordered an extensive mobilization of reserves and that we return fire of a magnitude that the enemy has not known. The enemy will pay an unprecedented price.
The stated goals: destroying Hamas and freeing the hostages. In the beginning, Israel had support among its allies, but many experts said its goals were unrealistic. Israel imposed a full blockade, and 6 days after Hamas's attack, it called on residents in the northern part of Gaza to go south before mass bombing and a ground incursion, which started on October 27th.
This arrogant gang should know that they are drowning in the sands of Gaza, and this will cost them a lot.
On November 15th came the first attack on Gaza's Shifa hospital, which Israel said was being used by Hamas as headquarters and to hide weapons. Thousands of Palestinians had already died in the war. With Shifa, the fighting spread to a hospital filled with patients. On November 24th, the first week-long truce led to a swap. 105 Israeli hostages were freed, as were 240 Palestinian prisoners. Humanitarian aid was allowed in, but NGOs on the ground alerted this wasn't enough for the 2.3 million people in Gaza, most of them displaced. In December, Israel expanded its ground offensive to Khan Yunis. The lack of food and medication led countries and NGOs to deliver aid in any possible way.
Tonight, I'm directing the U.S. military to lead an emergency mission to establish a temporary pier in the Mediterranean on the coast of Gaza.
Failing to meet its targets, Israel designated Rafah, the southern border city, as the final stage of its ground offensive, prompting fears of even more devastation. In 6 months of war, more than 33,000 Gazans have been killed, according to Hamas. World powers press for a ceasefire. A resolution is voted at the Security Council after a U.S. abstention. Within Israel, anti-government protests grow to reach a deal that will get the rest of the hostages back home.